and we're not even done.
No, of course not. We are never done with Mr. Blue Man and his wacky garbage, masquerading as an enlightened spiritual worldview that can only be understood via the medium of toys for goddamn toddlers. And the reasons are twofold. One, this guy never ceases to put out more of his trash, and you lot will never let me stop. Because as soon as I try to sneakily stop, just for a little while, the comments start coming in. Can't wait for the next spirit science video, which reads to me like, can't wait to watch you peel off your own face and then staple it back on with rusty nails.
Within this Genesis pattern, after the third sphere is created, you now have the pattern known around the world as the Holy Trinity.
Did anyone else hear that popping sound in the back of my skull? I think something broke, because fuck me if that wasn't so much nothing that I think my patience gland might have broken. Circles now make the triquetra, because that's what that actually is called, regardless of whether or not Christianity stole it to use it in its own game of no, really, this is the real God, I promise. And the fact that if you drop 3 circles on top of each other, it's really not hard to come up with that shape, making it super unsurprising that they would do so and say, hey, this is the symbol for our thing. Aren't we so very clever?
Depicted in literally countless churches.
Stated, of course, as if that's a meaningful point. The cross is actually a meaningful thing that is relevant to the creation of the universe, because the most popular religion on the planet, for which it is the fucking symbol, happens to have that symbol all over the place in all of its buildings. That must mean it am the true smart. Yeah, they use a symbol, so of course it's in countless churches. It would be fucking weird if they didn't have an important symbol to them everywhere. What is wrong with you?
It's also written in the Bible that on the 4th day of Genesis, exactly 1/2 of creation was completed.
Wait. Are you telling me that just over halfway through the time allotted for a project, in this case being 6 days, since at the start of the 4th, you still have 3 days left technically, and God pounced about on the 7th, probably eating leftover pizza and watching Netflix, but that project was half complete? I mean, to be fair, as miracles go, that's a pretty strong one. I mean, when I get to the 3 days before a project is due, I'm already sat around eating old food and rewatching episodes of BoJack Horseman. It's only in the final 12 hours that I ever get anything done. I think that's why my videos have such terrible quality control. And I said, what makes you think I asked for a 12-inch pianist?
Starting from the first motion, exactly 1/2 of the circles were formed on the 4th day.
What? What are you talking about? Days? What days? When did days even come into this? I mean, I know I've been zoning out to think about spaghetti and the optimal way I can get it into my body for half of these videos, but I'm pretty sure that you didn't even bring up days. And anyway, what even constitutes days in your wacky little history of the universe? Is it a day per circle? Because I've got bad news for you, champ. That's 5 circles right there. That would be 5 complete days at that. So really, you would be halfway done on your 6th day, which, to be fair, is still better than I would have done, but still. Yeah, this doesn't make any fucking sense. Almost like it's really, really stupid or something.
Now when we get to the 6th day, a geometric miracle takes place.
A geometric miracle? Would you kindly do one, you sophistic piece of sweaty donkey ballsack? And I'm sorry, but there is just so much wrong with that from everything standpoint. Just at a surface so dumb, even I know it's dumb level, 2 is in fact not half of fucking 7 or even 6 if you aren't counting the middle circle, and that's how you got your 4 days? And geometrically, that shape is not half complete on your apparent 4th day. It's at least 60% if it's anything. Nothing about this makes any sense to anyone but the terminally stoned. And I could only assume that makes up the entirety of your target audience.
The last circle forms a complete 6-petaled flower.
wait, that wasn't even the miracle. The miracle is lots of circles make flower. That's not exactly what I would call miraculous. That's what I would call kind of expected, at least with this shape, when you pile a bunch of fucking circles on top of each other. It's hardly healing the sick or turning water into wine. If anything, it's kind of the opposite of a miracle. What would be miraculous is if by doing that, you suddenly realized you were talking shit and fucking stopped. But clearly that's not going to happen, because if there is a God, he is very evil and he inflicted you on me specifically, so fuck that guy.
The Bible even says that creation was formed in 6 days, and this fits exactly.
Except it doesn't. You just said that yours was 6 days for literally no reason. And even if it did match up with your circle bullshit, who says that's the correct shapely bullshit? Or that circles are even the correct magic space making shape? I mean, what about the rhombus of destiny? And if we copy pasted a couple of times, what's that? Oh my god, can you see it? It's right there. W for whiskey. Clearly that is the meaning of life. Also, if I want to be an arsehole about it, I can put an S and an S for Sir Sick. So obviously that means that the universal whiskey belongs to me by the supreme power of dibs.
You see, this is the pattern of Genesis, and thus we may call it the Genesis pattern.
I don't know why I find that so funny, but it really is. I think maybe it's because it shows how shallow all of this is. Because they couldn't even come up with an interesting new name for it. They just reorganized the words. Why couldn't it be called Pattern the Genesis? Huh? Why not? What? Because you think it sounds dumb? Well, I have some news for you, pal. They all sound dumb. Mostly because you said them. That is your superpower. It very well seems.
Which is also the beginning of the creation of reality as we know it.
I'm pretty sure that creation has little to nothing to do with fucking flowers. As awesome as it would be for the universe to explode out into petals like some kind of anime intro, I think in all likelihood that shit came a little bit later. And by a little, I mean like a lot later, like billions of fucking years later.
Now, as we discussed briefly...
Wait, was any of this brief? I feel like we've been discussing this for longer than the billions of years it took the fucking flowers to show up. Nothing you say is brief. Like, even if you said hi, it would feel like thousands of hours as my brain tried to compensate for the sheer magnitude of your stupidity by dilating time to an absolute crawl. It's the only way I can cope. Well, that and booze.
The pattern of the flower of life is a living one, not static.
Static is not the opposite of living, you fucking clunch. Why do you have to continually fail at every analogy you ever attempt? It's like you don't even know how basic words work. And oh, right, that's exactly what it is. The opposite of alive is dead. You know, a thing I'm starting to wish I was.
And so as you continue to develop it, the seed of life develops a tree of life, which produces a flower of life, and the fruit of life emerges therein.
No, no, and no. And let's just throw in an extra no in case I missed one. None of that follows from the others in any kind of necessary way. You just liked those shapes, so you decided they were important and relevant to each other without bothering to actually establish that connection. It's what you always do, and honestly, it's one of your most infuriating traits. And yes, it is worse than the word salad, because at least that doesn't pretend that it has a clear and obvious connection to anything.
The tree of life is a very interesting concept.
Is it? I mean, seriously, it's less interesting and more fucking obvious, because trees, right, they're fucking everywhere, are often big and capable of providing sustenance and shelter to multiple people and animals at the same time, and they can be observed to grow over the years and get quite large and all that other shit, so it's no surprise that people associated them to life and living, and that some ultimate tree would potentially be the ultimate life giver.
Known around the world by countless traditions.
Yeah, and it's still not evidence of anything other than human beings are human beings, so come up with a lot of the same concepts. Not to mention that some oral traditions simply travel far and wide and make it to every corner of the earth, and demonstrates nothing but the simple fact that humans just won't shut the fuck up. And no, me talking a lot isn't hypocritical, it's only hypocrisy when other people do it.
Depicted sometimes as a tree.
Waitity waitressing. Are you telling me that the tree of life is sometimes depicted as a tree? What gibbering madness is this? You're acting like that tree is some kind of tree. That doesn't make no sense at all. Which is weird because everything else you've said so far has been so down to earth and reasonable.
Sometimes as a geometric structure, and sometimes as a collection of dimensions or worlds in which our physical reality is one of them.
That last one really hurt. Not that it isn't kind of a cool representation, but that there's any possibility that could even remotely be representative of reality. I mean, for fuck's sake, Midgard, aka Earthrealm, is that middle bit. And I don't know if any of you here have noticed, but there isn't a gigantic fucking tree trunk anywhere around here. Also, of course, he's taking from the Vikings as well. The question at this point is, what culture won't he pilfer from to add to his vast collection of unconnected bullshit? Honestly, at this point, if he doesn't take it, I'm more inclined to believe whatever it is being true. I mean, Prince Philip movement doesn't seem like something he would take from, and at least that guy is real. Was real.
The tree of life is outside of any race or religion.
What the fuck does that even mean? Outside race and religion. You know what else it is outside of? Reality, because there is no tree of life anywhere. And what would it even do apart from suckle the nutrients out of the surrounding area? Because like seriously, trees are often extremely destructive forces, blocking out the sun of smaller trees and other foliage, and even able to take out structures. So the idea of a gigantic one being anything other than a fucking nightmare to deal with is laughable. Chop that shit down and leave its mountain tree stump. Yes, that is a thing, and no, it's not very smart. I'm sure Bloomin' will be all over it.
And may be considered one of the oldest belief systems on the planet.
May? What is this weasel wording nonsense? Is it or isn't it? Surely we can check what the oldest belief system we have had is. That is the oldest one that we know of. And anyone who considers otherwise is that thing that you always are. You know, wrong and dumb and annoying and probably smell weird. I mean, come on. You think he's blue because he's healthy?
Describing how all of life and creation are interconnected as branches or roots of a great tree.
But we already know how life is interconnected, and it's not actually anything to do with literal fucking trees. And while yes, trees of life exist to explain evolutionary paths, they are far from literal and more a way to help people understand the connection between things. And they certainly don't bridge the gap between biology and cosmology or whatever have you.
And on that subject, I'll do a bigger video about this at some point.
Please don't. Like I said, these already feel like years of my life circling the drain when I tried to cover one of them. And I don't think I could cope if you actually did more prattling than you usually do. Have mercy on me. Please. I promise I'll stop calling you stupid. For at least 2 minutes.
But for now, let's move on.
Oh, thank God. Less shapes, more not shapes. I am getting sick to fucking death of circles. I mean, I swear to non-existo. Every time I finish talking to you, all I can see is circles in my hand, filled with whiskey, because I really need it.
Along with the flower, fruit, seed, and tree cycle.
Oh, we haven't moved on at all. You lied to me, Blue Man. What else have you been lying to me about? Next, you're going to tell me that you aren't even called Mr. Blue Man McBloominson. And that you have some lame name, like, I don't know, off the top of my head, Jordan. No, that would be too ridiculous, even for you.
The flower of life also yields a fifth image, which is called the egg of life. This is a very significant form that is relative to your physical body.
egg is relative to my physical body, and of course to seeds and trees and flowers, because they of course all come from fucking eggs. Holy shit, this just went from ridiculous to out and out fucking moronic. Wait, has it been 2 minutes yet? Meh, either way it's not like the fucker can count. I mean, the guy thinks that trees come from eggs, so I'm sure it's fine.
We discuss it in our spirit science video called Power of the Heart, where you can see how your very existence began with the egg of life.
Look, yes, eggs are how a lot of things get born. Well, at least ovums, because, you know, not all eggs are the ones like the chicken does. Although I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't know the fucking difference. But that doesn't make eggs magic, just, you know, part of the process, for Christ's sake.
When you were just a clump of cells in the Anunnaki test tube, I mean, your mother's belly.
I don't know exactly what you are trying to suggest with what you just said there, but I will have you know I was never held in someone's belly. I was formed fully from one of those clouds of alcohol that saunters around the universe. Explains a lot.
Check out our video called Power of the Heart to learn more.
Oh my fucking god, stop suggesting other videos. And this isn't even an, everything you say I'm so bad, me no want more. It's just really annoying. I mean, once is enough. Stick to the thing you are currently talking about and let me decide if I'm going to watch several random bullshit videos of yours. Although, to be fair, the answer is probably going to be, I'd rather eat my own hands.
But for now, before we run out of time, I want to show you something really cool.
I wish you would run out of time. And you know what? Fine. It will be the last in this series next time. Thank Atheismo. So we shall save this cool thing for then. Tune in and prepare to immediately tune out again when it turns out to be really fucking dumb. Bye!
Wait, before you go, I have something super important to tell you. It's life or death. It will change everything forever. Nope. Wait, it's gone. Oh well, probably wasn't important. But while I have you, don't forget to comment, subscribe and notify. And if you want more of my smexy voice, check out Mrs. Six's channel Spoonstaff Stories, where I narrate and voice all the videos, and she does the work. And if you want to support the channel, check out the merch store for cool t-shirts, or check out Patreon, memberships and PayPal to support directly. Finally, follow me on the medias of social to get completely pointless guff and to keep up on the latest releases. Oh, I just remembered what I was going to tell you. Whatever you do, don't touch the